So here's a really neat Lapco Nelson pump that I purchased off M. Carter Brown a couple weeks ago. And what caught my attention on this pump was not only the seller's story, but the fact that it uses the longer, later style Lapco snub or later style body. So on most Lapco pumps, the body is standard Nelson spec, which means that the body actually ends about right here. But on the later style models, the body actually extends almost all the way back to the rear valve body screw. So this is similar to a Trracer, to a Ranger, to a Carter, to a Phantom, to a later snub Bushmaster. And very few of these were actually produced by Colin Thompson at Lapco. And when we look at this particular gun, we can see it's set up for 12 grams using a Trracer 12-gram dropout changer. Screw this back in. It also uses a WGP swing frame. But what's funny is this is actually a slide frame that I'm assuming Colin put the screw through and turned into a swing frame. This is something I've never seen before. I didn't even think was a possibility. So it's a screw and a nut put through the actual swing trigger, and it actually holds the swing trigger in place inside the sliding notch. And this frame and rail combination will use the Ranger Sear. Looking at the body, we can see it is a bore drop, which means that it uses the longer bolt. The ball falls directly into the bore and is pushed forward by the bore drop bolt. The difference between a bore drop and a breech drop is that a breech drop will actually push the ball up a ramp into the bore. Another neat thing about this pump is that it has a removable barrel. Let's see if I can just take the barrel off here. So it's a removable barrel that I believe is cocker thread. So here we go. Has a spring inside of it, and it has the Lapco porting on the end of the barrel. The seller, Jim Campos, told me that not only did Colin assemble this, but he cut the porting in the barrel. What Jim says, so in Jim's post selling this pump, he writes, "Many years ago I met Colin Thompson along with Russell Maynard in the early 90s when he had a shop in the back of Paintball Connection in San Diego. This was my introduction to California paintball. Russell showed me an autococker and the trigger job that he did to improve it. I bought one and Colin did his porting at the end of my bull barrel. I asked Colin to show me the process of putting a gun together. He picked up some parts around his bench and assembled this gun. He said it was unique because of the 12-gram adapter attached to the bottom line that would allow me to use a 12-gram or 7-ounce bottle. I played with this twice and never got into the groove of the gun. I'm really a Sniper 2 pump person. R.I.P. Colin and Russell." And I asked Jim some more questions, and he said he was from Minnesota and he was just visiting. And he played at Borderlands in San Diego. And in Minnesota, he played at Splatball and the Adventure Zone in Rosemount. And he was playing for the Lost Boys of Minnesota. Here we can see the porting that Colin did on his barrel, along with the sight rail. See, it's raw inside and it has that step, which was typical of Colin Thompson's muzzle brakes. We can also see that it was re-anodized on the arm, and that the threads were cut raw. Looking at the body, you can see it uses a bore drop bolt. You can also clearly see the screw in the single trigger. See the Lapco bottom line on it. You can see the Trracer 12-gram dropout changer. Dates it to probably 1994. No engraving on the rail. PMI rubber grips, which I will be changing to Lapco grips.